All right, it is May. We are in the 5th month of the year, which is always insane to me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like ready for the sunshine to really come through. At least that's my Leo rising. So I'm pretty excited about May. There's a lot going on where April was like this astrological sandwich, as I said. May definitely has a lot of opposition to it in a way. So we start off with May 10th. I mean, we don't start off, but a major thing that happens on May 10th, we have two major astrological occurrences. So we've got Mercury going retrograde. So essentially we've been in the shadow period since April 25th until May 10th. Anything that's been going on for you mercurially, is that a word, will really be highlighted during Mercury retrograde from May 10th to June 3rd. And then when it goes forward in June 3rd, we'll get to that when we get there. But essentially, starting May 10th, Mercury is going to be in retrograde for the rest of the month. So paying attention to how we communicate to others, how we communicate to ourselves, any technological issues that we're having. And on the same day, on May 10th, Jupiter enters Aries. So Jupiter in Pisces didn't last nearly as long as we all wanted it to. It was very happy in Pisces, but Jupiter in Aries isn't a particularly negative placement. It's actually really exciting for us to have a lot of personal growth because Jupiter is this planet of expansion, of enlightenment, of opportunities, and of positivity. And it's in the sign Aries, which is the sign of self, of identity, of being bold, of making decisions and being very decisive in your actions. Because these happen on the same day, there's a lot of polarity there with following your impulses, but also rethinking them and making sure you triple check everything, but also really doing anything that expands your personal growth. So there's a lot going on in May. We've also got the full moon on May 16th, which is the full moon in Scorpio, which I'm sure I'll do a video on most likely. As always, my usual announcements. If you haven't entered the giveaway yet, what are you doing? Go enter it. All you have to do is subscribe to this channel, go follow me on Instagram, and then comment below that you did those things, and I will enter you into the giveaway where you can win one of 7 prizes. Seriously, there are so many prizes. I'm really excited to meet even more of you guys. I've really been enjoying meeting you guys thus far. If you want to book a private session and don't want to wait for that giveaway to be over, you can do that on my website, harveymountainalchemy.com. I also wanted to announce that the crystal of the month this month is moss agate. So if you don't know about my crystal of the month deal, I make crystal candles. And so any candle that has moss agate on it will be at a discount on my website. Again, harveymountainalchemy.com. I love moss agate. It gives me very much Virgo energy. It's very earthy, but it's so collected and it gives me some clarity and mental organization. So I really enjoy moss agate for that, but it's also really good for setting intentions to achieve your goals. And I really love it for that as well. Of course, if you haven't yet discovered, I am a co-host on an astrology podcast called The Stars Made Me Do It. So go check that out if you're looking to learn astrology in a laid back, fun kind of way. That is exactly what we do. So why don't we get right into the reading? I'm excited. I always cut the month into thirds. So we're going to do the first third of May, the second third of May, and the third third of May. So let's get started. So these are the 3 piles. Pile 1, confidence. Pile 2, trust. Pile 3, creativity. All right, so pile 1, we've got your confidence card here. Very nice. I love this one. And I love that it's black too, because it's about the negative space. What kind of negative space are you filling in? And how are you filling that negative space in? So I like to look at the themes for the month. So we're going to start off with a couple cards just to sort of give us a rundown of what it is we're going to be feeling this month. And then we're going to get into the specifics from each third of the month. So pile 1, themes for May. Ooh, we've got 3 cards. So starting off with the Queen of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Great. There's definite growth happening, emotional growth that's happening for you. This Page of Cups and then the Queen of Cups, and then we've got this 2 of Wands in the middle. I almost feel like there's a decision that needs to be made from your heart, from your emotional center. And so for this entire month, I think you're going to be asked to be very receptive and very understanding of how you're feeling within yourself. The 2 of Wands wants to take action. This actually really reminds me of that Jupiter in Aries energy of wanting to move forward, on moving on your impulses. And then we've got the Page of Cups saying, but I'm still at the beginning here, and I don't fully know exactly what I'm feeling in this situation. There are messages that are going to come to you throughout the month. We've got this little love letter coming and this goldfish, or I actually don't know if it's a goldfish, but listening to the messages that are in your heart. I mean, how clear is that? And then we've got the Queen of Cups, honoring those messages in your heart too, not just listening to them and really not ignoring them. I think that's what is most important for you this May, is not to ignore the emotional messages from within yourself. So let's start with the first third of May. So May 1st to May 10th. So right before Mercury goes retrograde. It's still Taurus season. You've got the Ace of Cups, you got the Queen of Cups again, and the Two of Wands again. Are you kidding me? You got the Queen of Cups and the Two of Wands again. That's so interesting. I almost feel like your emotional decisions are intertwined with somebody else. Hi, Leo. That scared me for a sec. And again, with this heart imagery, right? That you're holding so close to yourself, so dear to yourself. I almost feel like maybe you're taking on a bit of a stoic nature when it comes to how you're feeling. And that because you're afraid of how other people might perceive what you're feeling. And you're very dependent on how other people perceive what you're feeling. But it's important for you, first of all, just to honor what it is you are experiencing, to honor those feelings rather than judging them as somebody else before you even give them the chance to judge you. Just let yourself be yourself. Let yourself enjoy things. Let yourself be sad about things. Let yourself feel how you actually feel without judging who you are. Holding it close to you is well and good, but I also think that expressing it could be really good for you too. I think that there's some sort of separation that you need right now. This Two of Wands really is about seeking adventure, whereas this one is much more about intertwined adventure. That what is it about somebody else that you feel you have to do everything with? Maybe look at codependency in your life. If you're in a relationship, how do you have codependent habits towards each other? And it's totally normal to have codependent habits. Is it healthy? No, not always, but it is normal. We all work through these things in relationships, especially having been taught in society that like your relationship is everything. And if you don't find the one person, then like there's something wrong with you. That's just not the case. So looking at some of your codependent tendencies with a partner or with your friendships or with your family and being able to separate yourself from that. And also being able to separate yourself from those behaviors, not identifying as your trauma responses or as your conditioned behavior. So it's really about honoring what's in your heart, honoring how you do feel, not judging it, not being rude to yourself, not being rude to that little, like, it's almost like that little Leo inner child heart stuff that you don't have to be so harsh on that. Let that Leo shine a little bit. So let's see. Second half. So now Mercury has gone retrograde. Jupiter has entered Aries. High Priestess and the Six of Wands. Wow. And the Six of Cups. Wow. So a lot of balance about wanting to be seen versus knowing who you are, or actually almost like wanting your inner child to be seen right there. That second half of May, or second third of May, this Six of Cups, I always consider it as like a nostalgia card of a grass is always greener when I was 6 years old card. And this Six of Wands is wanting to be seen. You want to shed the light on who this little version of you was, and what about this little version of you didn't get the attention that you really wanted as a child. And then you've got the High Priestess. It's okay to be completely honest with yourself about this. There's nothing wrong with feeling like you weren't heard as a child, or feeling like you need to express your inner child. We're all doing work to become better people. And sometimes that means saying, I need a little attention right now. So I do feel like May for you, and especially this is just the end of Taurus season, where Taurus really likes to sit and be present and just almost sit by themselves, be a bit of a recluse. And that's okay if that's what you're leaning towards, right? I'm feeling a lot of Leo energy. Like I'm feeling like we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we need validation, we need some extra love to our inner child. But also that Taurus, it comes from a place of self-worth, of needing to find your own worthiness. So this second third of May, let yourself validate your own existence. Both of these sixes, it just feels like there's a need for balance and harmony. There's a need for some beauty, absolutely. So if you can, like, do something for yourself that makes you feel beautiful, that brings beauty into your life, into your home, into your family. Yeah, just letting yourself be you and fully express you, even if it means expressing some of the sadder bits. It's okay to feel sad, like I said earlier. All right, the last third of May, Mercury's still retrograde, but it is Gemini season. Let's see. Ooh, that was loud. Gemini season, last third of May for pile 1. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. So you started off with the stars, which is normally just the star, but this is the stars. And then you also have the 6 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like work is at the forefront at the end of May. And if it's not work, then it's self-work. But I do think that finances are going to be at the forefront at the end of the month. Maybe it's about rent being due, you know, being careful of where you spend your resources, as Taurus season will have taught us. But the stars card here, again, it just feels like play. Let yourself play a little bit. Let yourself enjoy and be present. And almost like all of that slowness from Taurus season is being jolted. And during Gemini season, you get to kind of let loose a little bit, right? Where Taurus is like kind of serious and stoic about what it's experiencing. Gemini lets it be light. It lets it be lighthearted, fun, frivolous, maybe even surfacey. So let yourself just enjoy the moment without making it so serious in the last third of May. Picking up the rocks, putting in the work. I love this, but also accepting help from others. And this is the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. I mean, even if you're at the beginning of a work project, or, you know, you're starting a business or something, it's okay to accept help from others. Just because you're saying you're going on your own doesn't mean that you have to do everything on your own. So accept help from others, as little or big as they offer, and make sure that you're putting in the work too, right? So, and then the 6 of Pentacles, again, the exchange being highlighted. What is it that you are offering others, and what is it that they are offering you? All right, so let's see. Do I have any other oracles on this table? I think that this is my only oracle. So why don't we pick another? Actually, yes, we'll pick one of these, and then I'll do some tea leaf fortune cards. There we go. Growth and ideation. Beautiful. I always say beautiful. I love the green and the red actually here. And I love this green. It's like an olivey green. So, so cool. So the ideation, think of how what ideation means to you and how it plays a role in your life. And then let's pull some of these tea leaf fortune cards. Let me know if you like these. I'm always asking for feedback on them. We've got one that's upside down currently. Ooh. Bread, period of prosperity and abundance and wealth. All right, so money being a thing, if you are worrying about money, I'm kind of just hearing like, stop worrying about money. That abundance is around you, right? And so to have that abundance mindset rather than any sort of lack mindset. And if it is an abundance when it comes to money and finances, like physical finances, find the abundance and prosperity in your life outside of those things. All right, pile 1. This was a really beautiful spread. I hope that you have a beautiful May, and let me know how your April was. All right, thanks guys. Bye. All right, pile 2. I've got your trust card here. This is a beautiful card. I don't think I've ever actually seen this in the deck. Let me know why you picked this trust deck. I always want to hear why you guys picked the deck that you picked. I think this is fascinating that there's got a heart in the middle of it, right? So doing everything from the heart, placing trust on others from your heart, and also depending on how your heart feels about it, right? So instead of following that gut like we hear all about, it's about following what's in your heart here. And I almost see like what's above is also below. So what you put out there is also what you get back. So the more trust that you place out there, the more trust comes back to you, and the more that trust gets validated. So we're going to start off by looking at what the themes are for this month, for May. So starting out May, the themes for the month for pile 2. This guy wants to come out. This guy. Okay. So first things first, you got the 6 of Swords, parting ways with an old way of thinking. I also think that patience is going to be a big thing for this month because we've got the whole turtle and the hare storyline being implied here, and almost like a race to the next thing. Like I feel like there's a race to the next thing going on this month. We've got the Six of Pentacles, planting your seeds. So again with six, there's a lot of reciprocation going on here. So planting the seeds, and then you also have the Knight of Pentacles. I'm really getting the message that the slow progress is where it's at for you. That those seeds are just being planted and you can't expect the plants to grow overnight. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight. He takes deliberate and concise and efficient action, but that efficient doesn't mean speedy. It doesn't mean the fastest, right? So we have this turtle here, we have the planting of the seeds, and we have slow action, deliberate action. I love this. And this like very farm-like here. We've got the hare, the turtle, the chicken, and then I think this is an otter, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this an otter? He's very, very cute. He's very dapper as well. And let's see, he would be a Virgo. So the way that he puts himself together is very precise. So the themes for this month, patience definitely being one of them, which I do feel like the Jupiter and Aries in conjunction or at the same time as the Mercury retrograde is going to throw a couple of people off, because the Jupiter in Aries is going to feel like a real energizing. It's going to be like super fire under our butts and like we're going to want to take action. But then that Mercury retrograde is like, wait, let's internalize some of this action, some of this thought, and really think about what it is we want to do here. And so you might have that instinct to go, and just put it out there and just trust that things are going to be okay. But I think you have to redirect your trust towards trusting that the slow process is the right process for you. So let's start off with the beginning of May. So May 1st to May 10th, we're going to use my Sasuraibito deck. Love it. Sasuraibito. We've got the Two of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. And the Wheel of Fortune. That's so Jupiterian. Two of Swords is telling me that you're denying something, and not in the way that you're in denial, but that it's almost like you're rejecting something that's good for you. The Ten of Pentacles here is all about physical manifestation and of abundance, like literal abundance just in your life. And then the Wheel of Fortune, it literally has fortune in the title. So what is it about your luck, about your fortune, about your blessings that you are denying? And why are you rejecting it? Is it out of a place of not thinking you deserve it? Is it out of a place that you don't think it's that good for you, that you think there's something else better? It almost feels like there's a choice that you're making here, and one is the slow choice and one is the instantly gratifying choice, and you are going to be pulled to make the instantly gratifying choice this month. But I think you'd be surprised by what's under the robe. You'd be surprised by what's under the slow and steady course, that there's actually more than you had imagined would be possible for you if you go the slow and steady course. What is the rush? What is the exact rush here? Why are you trying to speed the process along? Abundance, perfection. I mean, perfection doesn't really exist, but contentedness, that comes with slow work, with slow changes in your routine, with constant changes in how you take care of your mental health or in your physical health or in your life, right? We have to implement things one at a time. It's almost like your skincare routine, which is really coming through for some reason. So if there's somebody out there who will resonate with this, let me know. But like skincare, you can't change your entire skincare routine at once. You have to add one little thing at a time to make sure that your body is fully adjusted or that your skin is fully adjusted to that product. So letting yourself change one little thing at a time rather than just diving into something that really might not be that sustainable for you. All right, so let's go into the second third, which Mercury is going retrograde at this point, and Jupiter entered Aries at this point. So we got this guy, Four of Cups, the Muse of Cups, and the Nine of Inspiration. So this second third of May, you've got the Four of Cups here, which is the Four of Emotions, and the King of Cups, but the Muse of Emotions. Then the Nine of Wands, which is the Nine of Inspiration in this deck. This is the Muse Tarot. Love this one. This is interesting. Feels like there's some form of defensiveness in almost like an obstructive way, that it feels like some self-sabotage could happen in the second third of this month. Like your own emotions are sabotaging you, or your own emotional patterns are sabotaging you. And I almost want you not to lean into the defensiveness, but leaning into the unapologetic side of this Nine of Wands. She definitely looks like you can't mess with me, which in some cases I think might be a little negative because she's being a little brash, a little harsh. But I also think that you could tap into this only I have power over how I react to things. And so not being as harsh, not being as brash in some situations that might trigger you, might trigger your anger, might trigger your emotions, and instead noticing your reactions and standing in the power of noticing those reactions. This Four of Cups is definitely, it's saying something and it's not coming through quite clearly yet. And then this Muse of Cups, it's almost like drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, this Four of Cups is like, no, I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. It's almost like you are, again, rejecting hydration. You're rejecting what is fueling you. Let yourself absorb some of it, right? Instead of being like resistant to it, become a sponge. Let what wants to come in. And I don't have anything very specific coming through, but the sensation of like stubbornness and not wanting to concede maybe to somebody else, not wanting somebody else to be right. We're definitely still in Taurus season for this part, so maybe the Taurus is really playing up in your chart during this second third of May. Drink the Kool-Aid, absorb it, right? Instead of ignoring that water, this Muse of emotions is drinking it. So let yourself drink it. Things don't have to be black and white. Things don't all have to make sense. Just let yourself be fluid with it. And that's pretty much all I have for that second third of May. So let's see. Last third of May, the 21st to the 31st. Yes, there's 31 days. Oh, geez. We've got 2 cards out. And then I also had another one that I think wanted to come out. Is this it? Yeah. So we've got Pentacles. Starting off with, 2 cards here. You've got 3 Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. And then you also have Judgment. This last third of May, I feel like the idea of structure and stability and safety are really going to play up. And I almost think that you are going to feel this sense of responsibility that you have to be the rock in all the situations. Which is why maybe you are rejecting some of that water, rejecting some of that Kool-Aid. So I think maybe ask yourself, and I'm not telling you don't have to be the rock, because maybe you do, but the 7 of Pentacles is asking you, why are you feeling the pressure so strongly now? What has actually changed that makes you feel like you are the one who has to do it all? You're picking the apples, you get to eat them too, right? Reaping the rewards of what you're able to do, not just doing it for other people because that's what they expect of you. Do things for yourself as well. Do those same services that you offer to others. Doing that for yourself is going to be really important too. And also just a genuine self-reflection moment of, why do I feel like I have to do this? What about this makes me feel like I am more worthy or less worthy? I do think that these intense questions are going to come up for you when it comes to this last third of May, because Judgment is about being free of judgment of the self, just being completely honest with yourself without judgment. And here in this deck, it looks like she's actually communicating with, let's see if it'll focus here. I don't know if it's going to focus, but it actually looks like she is communicating with the High Priestess. So having that High Priestess to commune with and to communicate with openly, honestly, and free of judgment. All right, let's pull some cards from the Tea Leaf Fortune cards, see what comes up for you. Oh, well, this guy flipped over. Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Yeah, I can feel that. It just feels like a bit of a slow change, right? We want quicker change. And I got these too. So Rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. And Pig, beware of greed. Interesting. So take that how you will. All right, pile 2. I really like the spread for you. I'm excited to see how this plays out. And also let me know how your April was. You know, I want to hear about that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, pile 3, I have got your creativity card here. Let me know in the comments why you chose this creativity card. I like this one. It looks like a light bulb, and I like that it's purple too because it's coming from a place of divinity, from your highest self, and it looks like a light bulb. So it's kind of like, great, like let's turn this light on. Let's brighten up the space with some creative ventures. I really like that. So let's see. Let's look at the themes for this month for you, for May. May for pile 3. Ooh, 7 of Cups. A decision needs to be made. I feel like this card comes up fairly often. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Knight of Swords and 3 of Pentacles. Wow, that's coming in clear. I almost feel like there's a decision to continue putting in the work or to walk away completely. So you let me know how that ties into your life right now, but it definitely feels like there's a choice that needs to be made about something that you have invested some time into. This could be a relationship, it could be work, it could be family, it could be personal work, it could be passion project, something you've invested some time in, but it's not too late to turn away from it, to move in another direction. And this Knight of Swords, it's almost like you do have other ideas you could follow, and these colors are really giving me like cotton candy princess unicorn energy. I almost feel like there's some idealization of, oh, but I could do this instead, and like turning away from the work that you've put in, and instead like the grass is greener over here, I think I'm going to start a new project. Is this a time where it's good to step away from what you've put work into, or is this instead a time to show some follow through? You know, and only you will really know, because some of you will need to follow through, but some of you will also have to decide when enough is enough, right? A lot of people are saying like, well, I don't want to be a quitter. Sometimes it's good to quit, right? Sometimes it's good to say, you know what, this actually isn't working out and I don't want to follow through just because I feel like I have to, even though I'm not going to enjoy it. So sometimes quitting is what is needed. But I think for you, only you really know the decision. Only you really know the choice that would be best for you. But some of you might say, I'm going to do the one that's easier rather than the one that I know is right. So that's sort of the theme for May, making a decision about follow through, about is it more beneficial to step away from this project, or is it better to follow through on the investment that I've made on it already? Are you only stepping away, or do you want to only step away out of an idealization, out of a grass is greener mentality? Or is it because cutting your losses is what's best for you? So let's look at what the first third of May is going to be like for you. So May 1st to the 10th. This is before Mercury goes retrograde. We've got Knight of Pentacles. Feel like putting in the work is definitely there. And these guys, 3 of Pentacles again, and the Fool. Right, so whatever project it is that you're working on, and if it's not a project, then some sort of it is going to be a project regardless. It almost feels like now is when you get the inspiration to start something different. Or now is when you get the motivation to really invest your time in this project. You know, this Knight of Pentacles is like, great, I'm willing to put in the work. The Knight of Pentacles has follow through. He is slow, but he's willing to put in the work, right? So maybe it's about not getting burnt out. Because the Fool could easily get burnt out. He's so open, so excited, so willing, and, you know, to maintain that energy can burn you out. And then this 3 of Pentacles, you know, you're just at the beginning stages, okay? All right, so I feel like there's probably more there that I should tap into. I was like ready to go into the second, third, but let's see what else we've got. Admiring the work that you've put in, letting yourself celebrate what you have achieved so far. This could be unrelated to any project, so if that didn't resonate with you, maybe this is the message for you. But this Knight of Pentacles, taking a little break from all of that hard work you've put in and letting yourself admire what you've constructed, or letting yourself admire how far you've come. You know, recognizing that you started from nothing, and that now you have something, that you've started something valuable. Okay, that felt right. So moving on to the second third of May, from the 11th to the 20th. Oh my gosh. this Mercury is retrograde now, and Jupiter is in Aries. So we'll see how that sort of affects you. You've got 4 cards. So starting off with the Queen of Materials, knowing your worth. Look at her. She's so confident with her worth. She's just like, I know exactly my value, and I want it to be respected by others. She's, look at her. Oh, also, there's a version of her down here where she's like posing, and it's almost like there's a little smirk. She's a little cheeky about like, yes, I can be serious, but I can also have a good time with it. We've also got the Muse of Voices. So I think that speaking up for yourself in the 2nd, 3rd of May is going to be important for you. Letting yourself use your voice. And as I say that, my voice is starting to get a little hoarse. It's pile 3. It's always that way. So letting yourself communicate, not just from your voice, because we've got this blue in the background, but also from your gut, all of this orange, and we've got this pink too, from the heart and from the gut, your most instinctive places, really communicating from a place of deeper self-understanding and knowing your motivations, not in this immovable way. We are still in Taurus season at this point, so there is a tendency for us to be a little bit more stubborn or a little immovable, as Taurus can be, but letting yourself be a little bit more understanding of why it is you're being stubborn, right? What about this stubbornness is worth it? And then let's see what else we've got. Wow, we've got Justice and the Queen of Inspiration, the Queen of Wands. Wow, so this Queen of Wands definitely gives me Aries energy, and this Justice is Libra. So the kind of juxtaposition or polarity between Aries and Libra of it's all about me versus it's all about them. So what are you doing that is just for you? Is this communicating? Is that for you, or are you doing that for somebody else? And this Queen of Pentacles, are you really honoring your worth when you're communicating, or are you kind of pushing yourself to the side to lift somebody else up? None of these options are inherently negative, right? It's just about being honest about what it is that you're doing. I think there is a somewhat, I don't want to say painful because I don't want you to think it's going to suck, but it can be a painful experience of ego shedding, of shedding some of your ego, letting some of that need to be right, letting some of that go, and letting yourself become like a more ascended version of yourself, a more aligned, kind, compassionate, understanding, honest, transparent version of yourself. So really chill 2nd, 3rd of May. Let's see. So the last 3rd of May, from the 21st to the 31st, we're in the thick of Mercury retrograde. I see you. 4 of Swords, Knave of Swords, oh gosh, and the Knight of Cups. Wow, you got 3 knights. You actually got a lot of court cards because you got 2 queens as well. So the 4 of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Knave Page of Swords. I almost feel like you're going to be starting a new venture at the end of May, starting something new. Almost like you're getting bored of your old thing, so you're going to try something else, which we are in Gemini season. So you might find yourself feeling a little flighty, moving from one task to another, one conversation to another, maybe having a little bit of an attention deficit during that time. And it's important for you, I think, to self-reflect in those moments where you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, maybe, where your mind is racing, letting yourself reconnect a little bit. This ego shedding is not just in this 2nd, 3rd of May, right? This is something that's going to be going on for a while, but it's really going to get kickstarted around, I want to say like the 15th of May, like around the full moon is when you're really going to start feeling this ego shedding moment of a release of need for control, a release of wanting to have power over others. And so to let yourself in the last 3rd of May to really reflect on where that comes from and allowing that ego shedding to really come through even more, because you've got these Swords and Cups, which is air and water. Thinking through what you're feeling, that's air and water right there. Not internalizing, but communicating on an intellectual level what it is you're feeling and how it is you are acting out of those feelings, right? I almost feel like there's someone here who's like acting out of resentment, and that resentment needs to be worked through and released, and that's part of this ego shedding, right? So releasing some resentment. It's not doing anything for you or for the other parties. So a major release really for this month. And it's interesting that you picked this creativity, because I am getting creativity with the project, the beginning of the project. Am I stepping away? Am I starting something new? I definitely feel the energy of, those queens are very creative. Definitely feel like, oh, but I'm going to go do this now. That's very creative. But it's really about follow through. And what are you valuing here, right? Do you value the investment that you've put in? So let's pick some cards from the Tea Leaf Fortune cards. Okay, all right. We've got dog, protection from a powerful friend. Love that. I almost think that that's actually your higher self that's protecting you, that you are divinely protected. Okay. Yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. I actually don't know what that is. Yes, the feeling tied down or frustrated, because you might want to have the freedom of moving around, of doing one thing and then moving on to another thing. All right, and last, career is definitely at the forefront. And candle, you will be shown the way. I love that. What a great segue into buy my candles, harveyoналchemy.com. Sorry, that was such a shameless plug. But your career being highlighted. That's really what a lot of this is about. So, all right, pile 3, I hope that was helpful for you. I really want to hear about what your May is like, but also let me know in the comments what your April was like, because, I just love to hear from you guys. So, all right, I will see you guys next time. Thanks.